Greensboro's long-range transit plan is keeping Greensboro on the move, with more coverage and service for our students, essential workers, and all of those wishing to get around town. Let's join this public announcement and hear from those charged with making Greensboro car optional by 2045.
Good afternoon. My name is Reginald Mason. I'm the Transit Director for the City of Greensboro, Greensboro Transit Agency. Today we're here to talk about 2025 Long-Range Transit Plan, which we call GoBoro. I'm going to introduce to you all now Scutter Wagg, our consultant from Jarrett Walker Associates, who will discuss the plan with you.
Thanks, Reggie. Good afternoon. I am Scutter Wagg. That's S-C-U-D-D-E-R. Last name Wagg, W-A-G-G. With Jarrett Walker Associates. We're a transit planning firm that works with cities and transit agencies across the country and the world, helping develop service plans, network plans, long-range plans, just like this. So we are now in the second round of conversation with the public about what should transit for Greensboro look like in the long term. In the first round, we showed people concepts of what a big improvement in transit, a doubling of investment in transit would look like, and some alternatives of what would the priorities mean. And we spoke to thousands of people across Greensboro, showing them those concepts and what it could mean and how it could achieve more freedom, opportunity, access to jobs and destinations and education and so on. And so we listened. We showed them, we had these two concepts showing more frequent service across large parts of the city, or another concept that showed expanding lower frequency service all across Greensboro. And we heard from 1,800 people who responded to our survey, among the many thousands who we spoke to at tons of events across the city. And most people wanted us to invest more in frequent service. A majority of people who responded to the surveys in the fall said, if we're investing more in transit, it should be in the places where most people are, where most jobs are. They also said, yes, we support a big improvement in investment in transit. The vast majority of people who responded to our survey said they would support a big investment in new service and the dollars necessary to invest in that service.
So a big part of this project is also making sure the public is aware of what we're doing and getting input. So we found it really effective to go out into the public. So we kind of piggyback on city events, which means we set up a table and we talk to people. We're showing them the draft bus network, and we're saying basically, did we get it right? And if not, where are we providing service that you like? Where are we not serving? And so we're asking the public to tell us this. Now,
along the way, we've already made some big improvements. GTA has already implemented the Crossmax Purple line in March, which came out of this initial process of thinking about how could more frequent service improve transit and access to opportunity. Launched in March 4th, and it's already seen a 24% increase in ridership along the corridors it serves, replacing routes 1 and route 10, and showing people the value of buses and frequent service coming every 15 minutes or better. So we're presenting now in the next few weeks a draft plan and asking people, do we have this right? Is this the right investment for Greensboro? Is this what you would support? And we have maps, and we have, most importantly, showing what would this achieve. So with GoBoro, with the proposed transit improvements in GoBoro, what could it mean? So this is an example from the Greensboro Coliseum. Where could you be in 45 minutes? And how far could you get? From there today, when you count waiting, walking, and transferring and all the time it takes to ride transit, you can't get much further east than downtown. You can't get that far west either. And we can count up, you can reach about 34,000 jobs and about 44,000 residents. With the GoBoro plan, we'd vastly expand that access to opportunity, vastly expand how far you could get in 45 minutes from today's network to the GoBoro network. Meaning from that particular location, you could get to 96% more jobs, that all the jobs you could hold, all the places you could visit, and you could reach 79% more residents. You can think about that as all the people who could potentially go to activities there. Vastly more people could reach that particular location. If we look at another example, the Cone Hospital. Today, in 45 minutes, you can reach about 38,000 jobs from that location. So if you live near there, Think about that as the opportunity you have. And about 25,000 residents. The Go Borough plan would increase the number of jobs you could reach from that place by 50%. It could increase the number of residents that could reach that location in 45 minutes by 140%. You think about that as lots more people could reach all of the medical services, could compete for jobs and work there that couldn't today. And we can do this all over Greensboro. We can look at all of the different places in Greensboro and how does it improve access to opportunity. And we could say that, we can tell you that the average person in Greensboro would be able to reach 100% more jobs than they can today by transit. And that the average resident in poverty could reach 118% more jobs. So on average, people would be able to reach twice as many jobs, twice as many opportunities, twice as many destinations as they can today with this improved transit network. We can also look at how many people would be near really useful and frequent transit service. Before CrossMax Purple was implemented, no one in Greensboro lived near frequent service that came every 15 minutes. With the Go Borough plan, almost a third of residents, 84,000 people, would live near frequent, useful, every 15-minute bus service. And 70,000 jobs, or 43% of jobs, would be near frequent, useful transit service in Greensboro. So just quickly, this is today's existing network. The lines on the map show you the frequency of service, every 15 minutes in red. Today, with the CrossMax Purple, you finally have one route that's every 15 minutes across town, east to west. Blue routes are every 30 minutes, which is most of today's network, and green routes are every 60 minutes. The draft plan significantly increases the number of corridors that are served with every 15-minute service, with new north-south CrossMax lines going along Randleman to North Church and North Elm, from Summit to Westgate City Boulevard. Far more corridors, West Friendly, West Market, served by every 15-minute service, significantly improving that access to opportunity. Now, critical challenge, of course, is how can you fund this? In North Carolina, many counties have the opportunity to fund public transportation with a half-cent sales tax. So this plan is predicated on the likelihood that you could go to the voters and ask for a half-cent sales tax dedicated to public transit, like Mecklenburg County, Durham County, Orange County, Wake County have already done. It would raise about $45 million a year and would grow as sales increased. There would need to be a further work with the other partners in the region, High Point, the county, and PART, to determine how all of the dollars would be spent. We've presumed a certain stream of that money would come to the city to support Greensboro's 120% increase in transit service that funds the network I showed you. But the other partners like PART, like High Point, like Guilford County, would also be able to see a 100 to 200% increase in the transit service they can provide with that funding stream. And we estimate that for the typical household, that sales tax would cost about $9 per month. But you think about how much you might save if you could live with one less car or no car. Because we know that the average household, it costs them about $10,000 a year to own, maintain, insure a vehicle. So there's vast potential savings for many, many people with that investment for a very modest cost. So we're starting this engagement with the public. We have a range of public events over the next few weeks. Our engagement team is going out there to talk with the community, to get their feedback and understand what might be changed. This is a draft recommendation. We want to hear if perhaps we should make different investments, and to help them understand what's the value in that investment. So
we had an opportunity to hear from our Greensboro Transit Authority Director, Reginald Mason, and Jarrett Walker Associates Representative, Scutter Wagg. We asked about what increased coverage and service means, plus how college students are being made aware of this initiative. Let's hear what they had to say.
As the presentation showed, be $9 a month per household. But what happens with this network, with the more frequent service, as Scutter discussed, more access to jobs, more access to retail, more access to connecting communities, and also creating economic viability for those who don't have cars, and need public transportation to get to work a lot quicker than what they're doing right now. Because we currently run what we call a hub and spoke system. where our buses go into the depot every 30 minutes or every hour. This will increase our service over 100% in providing more 15-minute service like we do with the Crosswalks. So we've been out on college campuses talking to folks at North Carolina A&T, also UNCG, and also we've been in communications with Guilford College. But right now, you know, the end of the line of the Crossmax is GTCC on Window. So those students know that, hey, they can get on Crossmax and go from one side of town to the other. And actually, the universities have been very receptive to the Crossmax, having a more frequent service. And we're looking to work with Guilford College to connect them to the Crossmax also.